What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti, everybody. Why is that like that? Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show. Hey, I hurt my back Wednesday night, and it's still bothering me. So I'm going to be sitting as vertical as I can, looking kind of stiff. I'm also all hopped up on muscle relaxants and pain meds. So... fair warning. I don't know. I don't know how I might not be able to fly worth a crap tonight. So prepare for crashes. But Chris Rosser just put out a great little video about Bluejay settings on TinyWhoops, and we are going to try them out tonight. There's two main things that are a little bit different. I'll say this: I wasn't surprised at all with the results. The results kind of backed up what I've felt and noticed, other than the 15-degree timing thing. That seems pretty cool. It looks like with all the tests that he did, 15 degrees timing is the way to go. The default is 22 point something, 22.1. Hold on, let me get this to stop beeping. By pulling these batteries, and then we'll be good. So yeah, 15 degrees timing. 15 degrees of timing seems to be the go-to. And then 24 versus 48 versus 96 kilohertz played out exactly as we've always talked about, which is that as you go up higher, you get a little bit more efficiency, a little bit more power, but you lose braking response. We've talked about this a million times. I've told you guys over and over and over again that I choose 48 because it's kind of getting you there's a bigger chunk of efficiency and power when you go from 24 to 48. And then you don't sacrifice as much braking. So like 24 to 48, there's a big jump in power and efficiency. 48 to 96, there's not as big of a jump. 96 to 48, there's a big jump in braking performance. And then 48 to 24, there's not as big of a jump in braking performance. The reason why braking is important is for situations like dives. When you're in a dive with a TinyWhoop, typically what'll happen is it'll start to wind up, and that'll pull you off the wall. So when you're diving, especially next to like a building, there's all kinds of garbage air there. If there's any wind, the wind is hitting the building and then it's swirling all over the place. So that swirling turbulent air, you're falling into at 0 throttle. And so if you turned air mode off, it would just wobble all over the place, right? So all of those wobbles are what the PID loop is trying to fix. And it fixes it in two ways, with thrust and with braking. But it does that with each motor individually. So as it's coming down, if it gets pushed like this, it's gonna power up these two motors to push back, but it's also gonna break these two motors down to try to leave it where it is. And so with a lack of braking performance, it's gonna use more power to fix the wobbles and the bobbles, and that's what's going to make it wind up and pull itself off the wall, and it makes staying close. And then you end up doing things like corkscrews, and like rolls all the way down the building, and to me that just doesn't look good, right? Like, you're diving down the side of a building, the coolest thing you could possibly do is get really close to it and just lock it in and just fall straight down. It's just, yeah, that's just me. If you like the way it looks with someone just barrel rolls all the way down the building, that's cool. There's lots of people that do that. I ain't one of them. And so, yeah, the braking performance on these rigs is really important. And it shows up elsewhere. It shows up in all of these situations where the PID loop is actively trying to fight against outside forces, wind typically. So like if you're flying straight and it gets hit by a gust of wind with 96K, you're gonna notice that it jumps up against that wind. And if you've got like a constant wind pushing around it, you could get into, this happens with CiottiFPV sometimes, you can get into the situation where it just starts to fly away and you're 0 throttle. So yeah, to me, the braking performance is really, really important. And yeah, as you go up in PWM frequency, you lose braking. If I had the data that Chris has provided us, though, is fantastic because it's data. Like, it's thrust stand data. It's there. There's no arguing it. There's no like, oh, well, it kind of feels like this or it feels like that. We'd kind of figured that out, and that's all fine and dandy, but now we've got specific data that shows it, and that's really, really, really cool. So, like, even though we've kind of known that, it's really awesome that we now have it in black and white. And what that's going to allow you to do is more accurately set up each individual rig. His testing, you should not see his testing and then take every single build that you have down, plug it into Bluejay, and put 96 timing 15 on it. Timing 15, yeah, I mean, that doesn't really affect anything negatively. So you could make the argument that, yes, you should take everything down and put 15 degrees of timing on it. But the PWM frequencies are more nuanced because there's a plus and a minus. There's an advantage and a disadvantage. So you can now make the decision based on each individual rig that you've got. If you've got a rig that you're never, ever, ever going to do building dives with, and you never fly it in heavy wind, and you want or need more efficiency, more power, awesome. 96K PWM. Done. If you have a build that's more like a freestyle kind of setup where you might dive a building, you might fly it in the wind, you're going to benefit from better motor braking, then 48 is probably your best bet. If you have a rig that has too much power and you want to really maximize the braking, 24K PWM. Unfortunately, with PWM frequencies, there are other things that can happen, like sometimes the lower PWM frequencies can generate more noise. So that's something that you want to kind of pay attention to. But yeah, that's pretty rare. Hey, by the way, where is it? My Mobula 7 1S ELRS that went for a swim after I left it on the fan for 2 days this time. It's good to go. We're gonna fly it tonight. And yeah, it came back to life. All is well. Yeah, good to go. If you get, if your quad gets fully submerged in fresh water, all is not lost. Get the battery unplugged as quick as possible and put it in front of a fan. If you're out flying, turn your car on, turn the air conditioning to max, put it on the floorboard, put it on the floor vent setting, and turn on. Sometimes you've got, well, if your air conditioning has like AC switch position and then AC max, what the max switch position does is it closes the vents to the outside and it just recycles the inside air. If you're a cheap bastard like me and you've got an old cheap car, it'll have like a physical lever that has a little arrow. So the arrow will usually be like this. There'll be like one arrow like this. This is an arrow, by the way. There'll be one arrow like this, and then there'll be one arrow where the bottom part of the arrow like loops around. That is the arrow that's like this, that is pulling in outdoor air. The arrow that looks like it's a closed loop, like a closed loop system, that is closing the external vents and just recycling the inside air. And that's what you want. You want to recycle the inside air. Your air conditioning dries out the air. So put it on floorboard, put it on max, let your car idle if it won't overheat, and put the quad down on the floorboard right under those vents so that cold, dehumidified air is blowing right on the quad, and leave it like that all the way home. And then when you get home, take it out of the car and put it on top of a fan. If you have like a box fan, just put it directly in front of the airflow of the fan for 24 hours. Halfway through, try to take it, like, so with a TinyWhoop, I have a fan that points straight up. So with a TinyWhoop, like halfway through, I just flipped it upside down. Just get moving air on it for like 24 to 48 hours, and yeah, it will more than likely come back to life. The Meteor 65 Air is one of the first rigs that I've fully submerged that hasn't come back to life. That was super saddening. But hey, it had to happen eventually. Is there something going on with the camera mount on this guy? Why does this camera look like it's a little bit sideways? What's happening, little friend? So yeah, Mobula 7 with the X12 AIO is back. I was going to, as we talked about on the last stream, I took one of the RC car chasing rigs apart and I put it back into a 75mm frame. That's the rig that was in this frame with the 0802.8 VCI motors, and it was doing that weird thing with ESC core temperature warnings. And so last live stream I'd said that I'm going to pull that out and put it into this frame with TinyWhoop 0603 30,000 kV prototypes. And I tried to do that, but the motor leads are like 2 centimeters too short. So I got very demoralized and stopped. And then later that day, I hurt my back and neck. And so it's just been sitting. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if I should desolder these leads and then solder on a fresh set. That's probably what I'll do. But in the interim, what I'm going to do, this guy is on 0802 25,000 kV motors. This frame is on those custom put together 0802 30,000s. I'm just going to take it out. I'm going to put it back in here, and we can test 25,000 kV versus 30,000 kV. Because there could be something magical about these old school Happy Model 0802 25,000s. The thickness of the wire that they use in the windings on the stators, rather, yeah, it might be like more optimized than the higher kV motors. So those 25,000 kV motors might have more grunt, which I'm hoping maybe I can feel. But I don't know. I have a feeling that Happy Model manages to make a lot of different kV motors, and they all seem to make really, really, really good power. So I get the feeling that they are changing up the winding thickness in between motor sizes like they should. So I think what we'll see is that the 30,000s do have more power, but let's test it and find out for somewhat sure. You know, we're still using. I mean, we can get some good data back, right? We can get RPM data out of the RPM filtering, but most of what we're doing here is like checking this stuff by feel, which is the worst possible way to do it, but without like a proper wind tunnel to test these motors in an unloaded state, where as if they're flying through the air. The thrust stand data, it's not. We don't. As soon as we start flying these things, they're no longer on a thrust stand. Chris has a video coming out. Chris's next video coming out has a bunch of thrust stand data from a bunch of different TinyWhoop motors, and it's going to be great, I'm sure. And we're going to learn something from that, but it's not going to be the whole story. And what you're almost certainly going to see is that the higher kV motors at some point really fall on their face. But many of you have run these higher kV motors, and you know damn well that they make more power. It's obvious. You can hear it. You can feel it. It's definitely there. So, and I warned Chris about this. Chris messaged me a while ago asking to get on a call to talk about TinyWhoop motors because he was going to be testing them, and we couldn't. Like, a couple days went by. I didn't know how quick he was putting the video out. A couple days went by, and then so I just info dumped on him in Discord. And one of the things that I told him is that on the thrust stand, he's going to see the higher, and he'd already done some of the thrust testing. I think he might have already actually mentioned this, but having seen it. But yeah, I told him exactly that, and so hopefully he brings that up in the video, and kind of mentions that, and I don't know. We'll see. He always does really good stuff, though. I'm super excited for that. So here is this camera and canopy going into the other Mobula 7 1S frame that I've got. Let's push this AIO down onto the posts as carefully as we can. It's the hardest part of any TinyWhoop build, just getting the damn thing to sit down without the grommets popping off. Ah! As a rubber grommet pops off. All right, come on back, little friend. Come on. In the Chad, Doubles FPV was first. Soap Legend 123 was next. Frank Nicholas, Tongue Out FPV, Northern Tier, Scotty Scott, Smoking Dog Cujo, Titan, Chuck P, Scotty Scott, Zoe 101, Notice, J Diggs, Mick Mucus, Sulfur, Slow Cal, Trey Prulog, Johnny Cat, Douglas Otwell, Anonymous, Andrew Taylor, Parker Guy, Brad Mondin. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. I apologize in advance for a bit of a low energy stream. I am whacked out. I usually when I hurt myself or I get sick or whatever, like, I'll just kind of tough it out and just wait. But with this, like, I couldn't get any sleep because my neck hurt. And so I started taking the pills, and then it's just like leftover medicine that Maggie and I have from previous injuries. And then, you know, once you pop, you can't stop. No, don't. Being addicted to pills is not cool. I don't want to make it. It's bad to make jokes out of that. That's a real thing. People really struggle through it. but yeah, I feel like I've gotten a ton of sleep though, which has been nice because I just want whatever the hell's going on back here to kind of fix itself. They taught us some, so this happened at West Coast Swing lessons. We were doing this move where basically, as the lead, I hold my arm. That looks weird. Don't read into that at all. As a lead, I held my arm up like this, and the follow kind of like swings under your arm. So and there's a lot of like you maintain like this tension in West Coast Swing, which is really cool. Basically, like you're always pulling against each other, and so if one person wants to really move quickly, they've got your body weight that they can pull against, and it's one of the things that makes it so like smooth and cool looking, and so. Like with whatever you're doing, there's always tension. So for me, the tension is upwards on my arm, all the way outstretched, and the lead is grabbing my wrist, right? So it's like this big long lever, and we did this move over and over and over again with like 20 different people. You rotate, you do it once or twice with each person, then you rotate to the next. Boom, 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 boom. So I did this move over and over and over again, and the compliment that I get from the instructors a lot, because we dance with them, they're in that rotation as well, is that I have really good like tension. We just call that tension, and I got that same compliment that night, like your tension's really good. I was having trouble with the footwork, and the one lead was like, no, don't even worry about the footwork, your tension is good, I'll take good tension over footwork any day of the week. I was like, oh cool. And then I wake up Thursday, I'm like, oh fuck. And it's like it's just some muscle that goes like straight down, and I can just feel that it's like connected to this kind of part of the rotator cuff that I was. And you know, like you don't do that. Like what do you do? Like what activity do you do where you put force in this upwards direction? You know what I mean? But also I'm terribly out of shape. This is one of the many occasions where just me being out of shape bites me in the ass, because I don't like respect the fact that I'm out of shape, and I just push through. Although I will say there was absolutely no, like Wednesday night it felt completely fine. And I mean, like, I'm sure I was all jacked up on adrenaline and goofballs and whatnot. But yeah, don't get old, kids. If you're young and you're watching this, just don't get old. Just die now, apparently. Is my advice to you. Do I really have this motor plug so stuck in here that I'm going to have to take this thing apart to get it out? Don't you dare make me... There we go. Okay. I was going to say, man. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. You can put Nat in front of it, but you don't have to. Notice says, hope you're feeling better, brother. A little bit. I felt a little bit better today than yesterday. Yesterday sucked. I was like, anything that I did would just fire this stabbing pain down my back. If you've ever hurt like your neck or your upper back, you'll know what I mean. It's connected to everything. And it's just like absolutely the most annoying thing ever, because like you just feel like you can't live, and so I just kind of slept yesterday. So yeah, there's that. Why won't... There it is. Get in there, Lewis. There we go. Brad Monden says, could you run through your current 5-inch setup and what's the all-up weight? All-up weight is between 595 grams and 610, depending on what motors. I have one build back there on AMAX 2305.5s, and that's the one that's 595. The rest of them have T-Motor F40 Pro 4s, which are slightly heavier, and they bring the all-up weight to like between 600 and 610. And there's also just like weird stuff, like the you'll never build two rigs that are exactly the same weight. It's maddening. They're always going to be off by a couple of grams, and no matter how hard you look at the two builds next to each other, there's just, yeah, I don't know what it is. It's crazy. It's like you used more. I don't know. I guess maybe if you bought 2 full sets of electronics, if you bought everything all at once, I guess maybe you could have 2 builds that are the same exact weight. But that's not what we do. You know, we end up having like a different flight control, a slightly different flight controller, a slightly different ESC, or 2 different battery straps, or you know what I mean? Or the you know, the frame, one frame you bought a couple of months ago and the other one you bought a couple of weeks ago, and they slightly changed the thickness of the carbon, or it's getting cut by a different company that's using different kind of carbon, right? 20 by 20 ESC up front, 30 by 30 ESC in the middle, Acon AK32, 35 amps, which you can't buy anymore. I just made a weird movement and my neck just exploded. I just told you the motors. It's the old school FPV Cycle glide frame. I run Tattoo 6S 1050 mAh batteries, the version 1s, the really light ones that are kind of hard to find. Session 5, Brain 3D, mount. Those are the main things. One of them is digital. The rest of them are analog. Yeah, that's about it. The things, the reason I'm not telling you what flight controller, what ESC, is because it doesn't matter. If the flight controller works, you're good to go. If it stops working, you got to replace it. Like, there's not a flight controller that's going to make a rig fly better than another. If they have different, like, if they have different gyros, they might tune a little bit differently, but, like, yeah, that's a gyro thing. That's not a flight controller thing. Same thing with ESCs. If the ESC works, it's good. It's not going to fly appreciably different than anything else. The things that make rigs fly different are the frame, the motors. Oh, props. I run GemFan 4943s. Things that make a rig fly different are propellers, motors, frame, all up weight, which is, yeah, kind of bleeds over into all the other stuff. But yeah, those are what makes a rig feel enough different that you can notice it and it like actually matters. 6x1FPV says, but have you seen Chris Rosser fly a TinyWhoop? His last Whoop review, we had some indoor Whoop flying DVR, and I was shocked at how poor. Don't be mean. How shocked at how poor a Whoop pilot is. Kind of makes me doubt his setup. I know you're not specifically trying to be mean, but that's you gotta phrase it in a different way than that. Look, flying TinyWhoops is incredibly difficult. We've seen Chris fly outside. He's a totally fine pilot, but then flying TinyWhoops inside is absurdly difficult. Chris would have to do what I tell you guys that you have to do, which is to fly 1,000 batteries to get even remotely good at it. Also, as we've talked about quite a bit, Chris's setups and his gear that he makes are based around engineering. Why wouldn't they be? He's an engineer. We're so lucky to have him. We're so lucky to have an engineer in our world, right? Like, it's amazing. It's a perfect example of, like, where do you want to put your time? He's putting his time into testing and into engineering stuff, not into flying. Does he fly? Absolutely. Can he fly better than a whole bunch of the reviewers that have tens of thousands of subscribers on YouTube? Yep. But, yeah, he's spending his time testing stuff and engineering stuff rather than spending his time flying. I am the complete opposite side of that. I have spent the majority of my time flying. I decided very early in this hobby that, yeah, flying was going to be it for me. And so I got very lucky, but that's years, right? Like, I'm literally years and years and years ahead of people that haven't done that. Maybe someday they'll decide that they want to focus on flying. That would be great. Chris is not reviewing products. I have problems with reviewers talking about the flight characteristics of stuff when they're not very good of a pilot. That's not what Chris is doing. Chris is diving into the technical side of it and the engineering side of it and giving us data based on that. And that's perfect. Like, he's dead on the money there. So yeah, what we don't see Chris doing is getting in the newest Emax rig and talking for 20 minutes about the flight characteristics and how it power loops and how it dives and stuff like that, right? He knows what he's good at, and he does what he's good at, and the data that he gives us is not. He doesn't have to be a good pilot to present the data that he's presenting. I do, right? Like, I talk to you guys about flight feel and what it feels like in the real world. That's what we're going to do tonight, right? We're going to take a look at Chris's settings and see if they are noticeable in the real world, if there's any positives, if there's any negatives. So for me, right, it's important that I've flown tens of thousands of batteries. So yeah, I have absolutely no problem with the fact that Chris is not, top 100 TinyWhoop pilots in the world. He doesn't pretend to be, right? And so, yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Do I wish that he was like one of the best Whoop pilots in the world? Sure. But like, how's he going to do that? Where's he going to come up with the time to fly thousands of batteries, right? Everybody has their specialties, and personally, I like when people specialize in stuff, right? I love that Chris specializes in the engineering side of it and presents data from that side of it. I love that I have focused on the flying part of it. I love that Joshua has his specific kind of focuses. I love that pro pilots have their specific focus, right? You're not going to find one person that has enough time in the day to do all of those things. Not yet, at least. I mean, we get, as FPV gets older and older, yeah, we can kind of see people that are able to do that. But it's very rare. It's very rare that somebody is able to perfectly split their time. It's also very rare that someone will have like an engineering background like Chris does. And then, like obviously, right? Engineering is his passion. So in FPV, he's going to pursue the engineering side of it, right? Like, it's rare it would be very, I'd be shocked if somebody with his background just said, nah, screw the engineering side of it. I'm just going to practice it to be a good pilot, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. We all have our loves and not so loves. I told you I'm all hopped up on drugs. I'm not going to make sentences that are great tonight. Perfect example. Sentences that are great. Awesome. So yeah, it's totally fine. He's not presenting data talking about like flight characteristics. And if he is, he's presenting it from the data that he's gathering from the engineering side of it. He always anchors everything that he does in the engineering. And so, yeah, like I've not watched a single video of his where I've been frustrated because I've felt like he's kind of talking out of his ass. And that's a thing that happens to me when I watch a lot of stuff. Like a lot of people in FPV, I can't watch their reviews because there's a point where I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, you're not a good enough pilot to, it sounds like a dick thing to say, but like, sorry, you're not a good enough pilot to really understand that. You haven't tested enough stuff to have a big enough sample size, right? There's all these like little things. So yeah, totally fine with it. Flying TinyWhoops inside is very, very difficult. Extra difficult. We Bleed FPV is in the house. What's up, Zotek? How are you, brother? He says, what's the good word? The good word is pain medication. Walter says, if you have AIO motor wires without a connector, why don't you solder? You're half the way instead of solder the PCB. What are we talking about here, Walter? Are we talking about Chris's video? He direct soldered the TinyWhoop motors to a little race wire. Is that what we're talking about? If that's not what we're talking about, if you have AIO motor wires, I think maybe what you might be asking is if you have a set of motors that doesn't have plugs on them, why not just direct solder it to the AIO? Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you have two choices. Either do that or desolder, if the motor has a PCB on it, desolder those and then solder on a set of wires with connectors on them. But yeah, it's different. It's you do you. Do whichever you want. I still don't like direct soldered motors. Pequeño Frijoles says 703, 27,000 reaches 68,000 RPM in flight. That's really high. Are those the RCN powers? I've been really interested in that 703 motor size. BetaFPV has a 703? What? No way. Looks like they're sold out. This is an old motor design. Look at that lip on the bottom of the bell. That's weird. I'll be damned though. I didn't know they had a 703. That's pretty cool. 703. What'd you say there? 27,000. 27. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Yeah. RC and power. Interesting. I've heard that all of these RC and power TinyWhoop motors absolutely hammer your batteries, though. But yeah, I am super curious about these 703s. Let's take a look at the at what that stator volume is. 0703. Let's compare that to 0802. Man, it's not. Well, okay, so it has more volume. It has quite a bit more volume. This is the 802 on the bottom. Bunch more stator volume, but not as much surface area. But with the narrower, taller can, they're gonna have better better response. Whoops. Interesting. Yeah, that could be a good 75mm motor right there. Pequeño Frijole just cost me $50. I have to do a TinyWhoop order at some point. So I'm going to move this over here. And I will get some at some point. Hey, here comes a link in chat to how you can make turtle mode ARM at the same time. So you only have to hit one switch. Somebody sent that. Somebody tagged me in over on Discord, and this is very cool. I have too many damn. What was that? That was weird. I have too many rigs to make this switch, and I don't want half of my rigs to have this, half of them to not have it. That could be a little weird and dangerous, but yeah, that's a really cool little trick, and it's on the video. It's like a 60-second long video. Super easy to do. All right, scrolling back up. I'm way behind. Let me find it. Morton Upshot says, what conclusion? You like the iGal motors or the 1002 motors for the 75mm walk snail build 1S? At the moment, I don't like any motors on the 1S 75mm walk snail build, but I am retesting a bunch of them. At the moment, it has the yeah, you just gotta wait. Yeah, I'm not really all that happy with any of them. I was just figuring that the Brandon's Baked Beans was helping me figure the tune out, so I've just kind of gotten the tune a little bit dialed in, and so now I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth with a couple of different motors. So yeah, I hate to say it, Warren, but here's what I will tell you. I've tested them in the past. This is my second pass testing motors on that rig. The testing that I previously did looks like it's pretty one-to-one with what I'm seeing now, which is that the VCI 0802.8 27,000 kV motors are the best in terms of performance and weight, all-up weight, but they hammer the batteries, and you're going to run your batteries down in like 2 minutes. The BetaFPV 1102 22,000s are kind of like my second favorite, but they make the thing heavy. And then the RC and Power 1002 22,000s are like a very close third place. They're lighter and they're fine. So any one of those three motors, the problem with it though is that with any one of those three motors, June Logo, thanks for the subscribble. With any one of those three motors, you're going to be pretty happy, but it kind of flies like a CiottiWhoop. It doesn't fly like a hardcore freestyle TinyWhoop like we've been able to build on analog setups. So, yeah, that's why I'm retesting it to see if there's any other way. But that extra 6 grams on a 75 millimeter rig, coupled with the fact that like 75 millimeter rigs already feel kind of lazy, it just, yeah, I just don't love it. I just don't love it. Cold Power says back spasms is one of the reasons I smoke weed. Nice. Mark Jimenez says, is it just me or are the BetaFPV 0702 30,000s super fragile? I've already broken a full set, Jesus, of 4 in less than a month. I have not heard much about the BetaFPV 0702s because the Happy Model 702s outperform them so drastically. What's breaking, Mark? Is it the bearings that are breaking? I've heard that that bearings are not a good idea for these tiny little motors. So yeah. I have not heard much. I've not heard many people running those BetaFPV 0702s. Interesting. How are they breaking? I'm super interested. Tag me again. Scotty Scott says, don't get old. Don't get old. Too late. Today's my 67th birthday. Who's that? Hello? Oh. So I sound like falling down the stairs. Cold Power says, when it comes to age, don't send it. Just don't. Sugar says, do you know of any canopies that are good for the CO3? I don't know if my Sinkies will fit one. Same answer as last stream. I do not. I've never seen a single canopy other than the BetaFPV one that's set up for the CO3. It's a weird camera. It's taller than it is wide. Walter says, form a team. I have no idea what that means. Walter also says, cut wires half the way. Solder wires again. Peconia Friole says, yes, it's the RC and power. Cool. Don't cut the wires halfway, Walter. Most of the TinyWhoop motors have a little PCB on them that you can solder directly to. So don't cut the wires halfway and then solder wire to wire. Desolder the motor wires from the PCB and then solder directly there. Hopefully that answers your question. Northern Tier says, I bought a set of 0703 27,000s, haven't used them yet. Was going to hit you up for suggestions. They're a little bit too big and not a high enough KV for a 65 millimeter rig that's going to really rip. So my suggestion would be to put them on a 75 millimeter rig. Milo says, for a heavy 5-inch build, does going up to 2208 versus standard 2207, 2306 make sense? Success with GemFan 5143s. Probably not, but everybody has their own taste. So if you want loads of power, 2208 will do that. 2207s, hell, 2306s make tons of power. 2207s make significantly more. 2208 is like ridiculous. Like, what are you trying to do with the build? Are you trying to keep up with like 140 mile an hour cars or something? Typically, you would not need to go up to 2208. Typically, for most people, 2207 is plenty. And the more power, the harder it is to fly. In my opinion, you want to try to have as little power as possible. The less power, the better the throttle resolution, and the lighter the rig is going to be. So for me, it's 2306s all day long. But if a 2306 doesn't have enough power for you, I would go up to a 2207, and then if that still doesn't have enough, 2208. But man, I have a hard time believing that like a 1900 kV 2207, a currently made 1900 kV 2207 is not going to have enough power for even a heavy 5-inch build. That actually reminds me, I still have these Wasp. So speaking of motors that make an unbelievable amount of power, I have 5 of these. 4 of them have been run on two batteries. The 5th one is absolutely brand new. RC and Power, right? Yeah, RC and Power Wasp Major. These are 22.6 by 6.5. It's basically a 2207. 1860 kV. These made more power than anything that I think I've ever flown before. So yeah, if anybody's interested in these, let me know. Pequeño says, use the closed top HQ biblades, 31 millimeters. Oh, okay. You were running on little tiny props. Okay. For 68,000 RPM. 2G4. Wow, that's a crazy setup. That is an awful big motor for a 65 millimeter build. Yeah, for me, the 702s are more than enough. But to each his or her own. Yeah, I would put those onto a 75 millimeter build. That's where I would go with them. But yeah, I mean, if you like the way that flies, that's all that matters. I'm shocked that those motors don't sag those 270 mAh batteries down to the 1800s. Walter says, I would say it's more risk-free to solder wires. Maybe. It's impossible to lift pads that way, that's for sure. Mark Jimenez says, I'm having a hard time explaining the shaft breaks off. Jesus. Sent some pics over to your Instagram. Wow, the shaft breaks off. That's rough. What frame do you have it on? You wanna match those motors up with, because those are a little bit taller motors. Nah, it's not gonna help. Yeah, I mean, if you're breaking the shafts off those motors, stop buying those motors. There's not a whole lot you can. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. Pequeño Frujillo says outdoor only 65 millimeter. It's really bad on the batteries. Whoa, 1 to 2 minute flights. Pequeño, you are going to destroy your batteries flying them on a rig that is discharging them that fast. We've been talking about this recently. I've had a lot of batteries ever since I've started building these walk snail rigs that get about 2 minutes per battery. The lifespan of my batteries has gone absolutely to hell, and that's because if you discharge one of these batteries in 2 minutes or less, it gets really hot, and the lipos don't like to get really hot like that. So beware, brother. Your batteries are going to start performing really poorly because you're discharging them so fast and they're just getting so hot. 2 minutes seems to be sort of like the dividing line. You want to make sure that your builds are not bringing the batteries down in under 2 minutes, or else you're going to put a lot of extra stress on the batteries, and you're only going to get like 20-30 cycles out of each battery before the internal resistances are so high that it flies like ass. So yeah, be super careful about that. Mark Jimenez says, might have to bite the $20 shipping to get some TinyWhoop or Weebly motors here in the Philippines. Might be cheaper than replacing the BetaFPV motors. That's wild that the shafts are breaking completely off. But I mean, there's really nothing you can do about that. When T-Motor originally sent me the prototype 0803s, that was happening. The shafts were breaking off. And yeah, that was the feedback I gave him. I was like, I can't really test these much because they keep breaking off at the shaft, and I'm pretty sure that they fixed that for the production ones. But yeah, there's not much you can do about that. It's just, yeah, the motors are too weak for how hard you're crashing. You can start crashing into carpet and that'll fix the problem, right? But if you want to continue to fly how you're flying in the locations that you're flying, right, you're going to have to find a motor that has a beefier shaft, baby. I have never had a Happy Model motor break a shaft off. I've had them bend the shafts for sure, but the shafts breaking off, like, that's just total game over. The shafts bending, like, they'll bend a little bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. But if they break off, it's just total game over. This thing is back together. Hold on. Ugh. Well, I have to plug this in. I just spit everywhere. I have to plug this into Betaflight to get the motor spinning the right direction. So, no, we're going to do this as a two-step process. I was going to say, so I might as well change the ESC settings on it, but... Oh, wait a second. I don't have any 400 mAh batteries to fly. Are they literally all dead? There is this one. I'll fly this one. Just for the sake of flying a 75mm rig, we'll put this into Betaflight, get the motor spin in the right direction, and then put it up. I got one better for you. We're going to just blast this at full throttle, and then we're going to blast this at full throttle, and we'll see if we can get a quick comparison point of 30,000 kV versus 25,000 kV. I'm going to blast this one first, though, because this is on 25,000 kV, so this will get the totally fresh battery. This one will not. And then we're going to do all of our PWM and motor timing testing on 65mm rigs, because those are all the batteries that I've charged. Cool? Makes sense? All right. Oh, buddy. Every little move I make, I could just kind of feel my neck slash back, like, no, relax, bro. Okay. I'm trying to stay stationary. Come on, Betaflight. Why you take so long to launch sometimes? Why you take so long? Go faster. Come on. What's up, CMYK? How are you, brother? What are you working on? Come on, man! Stop bouncing. Start launching. Oh my god, come on. There it is. Okay. Come in here, and we're gonna give it some juice. Motor direction. Understand the risks. The props are definitely off. Oh. I was like, wait, none of the motors are spinning. I had to click once more. How many times have I done that? And it just completely melted my brain. Props out. One is wrong. Alright, they're all going to be backwards. Is that right? Man, my brain is on pills. Boy, there are just simple things that I'm like, wait, what? Oh, for God's sakes. This is the board that won't reverse the, This is... That's weird. It's on 4.5. Hold on. This AIO is on 4.5, but then when I was telling it to reverse the motors, it wasn't. Maybe it was. Man, I feel like I'm drunk or something. Understand the risks. Wizard, start and spin. Alright. No, it's props out. Click it. It's still props out. What the hell? That bug was supposed to be in 4.3 only. What's happening? What in the shit? Alright, well, not the end of the world. Disconnect it from here. Go into the ESC configurator. And we'll fix it in here. If you have a quad that won't reverse the motors the way you need it to, all you gotta do is come in here and change this. Normal to reversed. Normal to reversed. Reversed to normal. I'm just going to change some settings in here because I trust Chris. I'm going to max these out too. What the hell? So we went to 15 degrees motor timing. I am going to leave it on 48K though. And everything else I'm leaving alone. Rate settings. Alright, now we'll be good. Oh, this thing's acting weird. This is not the one that went swimming either. Well, if I'm going to change the settings on one, and then I'm going to compare the RPM between them, I got to change the settings on both. So let me change that motor timing on this other one, which will take just a second. Connect, read. And timing to 15, right settings, and we're good. Okay, cool. Alright, so shit sticks. I have different propellers on these two. This isn't going to be a great test, but I'm just going to do it anyway, real quick. They have different props. This has the HQ YOLO YOLO 1.6 buys. Whatever, man. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just do it real quick. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's not. If I really want to I'm going to end up pulling these props anyway because I want to test these. I do want to test these two rigs a little bit more in depth. So I am going to pull the props. Eventually, I would be pulling these anyway, so let's just do it now real quick. Come on, man! Get off of there. Come on, propeller. There you go. Oh, boy. Thank God for these prop poppers, man. If you don't have one of these yet, what are you doing sitting here? Get over to a website that sells them and get you one. TinyWhoop is the originator. They have my favorite one, which is the clone prop popper, the one that I'm using right now. But they also have the OG one, which is totally fine. And then Weebleed has one now as well. Come on. Get in there. There we go. Okay. These are my 1mm props. What did I have this as props in, I think? Sure. There we go. All right. In the Chad. Where was I? Walter says... I'll let you guys read that. Focus for Life says, do you think really bad batteries can make flight look like a gyro issue? Maybe, since you're seeing the bobbling in the latest outdoor flights. Yes. Yeah, we talked about that at some point. The batteries don't have the... basically, they're sagging so hard that they're just not... The response time just starts to suck because the batteries are sagging so bad. And so, yeah, that was one of my theories as to why the 1S walk snail rig was flying so bad. But also, but then I took a log and I sent it to Brandon's Baked Beans, and there were a bunch of problems in that log. So now that the tune is corrected on this thing, I got to retest it. And I've just been, I haven't flown because I don't want the neck strap and the transmitter pulling down on my neck. So I'm just trying to be patient and heal up here. Yeah. But I'm dying to do some more testing. Hey, by the way, so if you've been following along lately, I've been in terms of the batteries and them getting all messed up from these rigs that are discharging them in less than 2 minutes. I've been trying to monitor that with the internal resistances. So what I've been doing is I got a fresh set of batteries from TinyWhoop, fresh set of 450s, and I would fly it. I took the internal resistance and then I flew it, charged it back up, took the internal resistance. I have another battery that's got a bunch of numbers written down. Fly it. Don't over discharge it. Just fly it normal. Charge it. Look at the internal resistances. Boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I've come to realize that, and the reason I'm peeling this off is that the internal resistances are all over the goddamn place. I don't know if it's just my charger or what, but if I in the process of doing that, I would charge the battery back up, and sometimes it would give me an internal resistance of like 120. Other times it would give me like a 60. Other times it would give me like an 80. And so I left a set of batteries on there, and I charged them all the way up. I looked at the internal resistances, typically, after I had flown the battery and run it all the way down to, like, you know, when I'm hovering towards the end of the battery, I like for it to be 3.5, and I come in. I know that's a little conservative, but I'm trying not to hammer these batteries. When I charge them up from dead, the internal resistances would be very high at the end of the battery, like up in the hundreds. Well, then when I would tell the charger to bring the batteries, I would do 6 batteries at a time. When I would tell the charger to bring them down to storage voltage and then I would charge them back up, the internal resistances would come down below 100. But then if I brought it back down to storage again, did the same thing, it's a total crapshoot. Sometimes they would come back up into the hundreds. Sometimes they would still be in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And so I had like these 6 batteries that I just did that a bunch of times. I charged them and then I discharged them down to storage. Charged them, discharged them down to 3.5. Charged them, storage. Charged them, storage. Charged them, storage. Charged them, discharged down to... Every single time the internal resistances are wildly different. So, yeah. The battery like durability testing that I've been trying to do is a waste of time. Can somebody else check me on that? Can somebody else that has a way of reading internal resistances of their TinyWhoop batteries do that? Can you charge them up from dead, write down the internal resistance, bring it down to storage, charge it back up, write down the internal resistance? It's really important to look at the internal resistance when it's fully charged, because as it's charging, the internal resistance changes for some strange reason. So you got to make sure you read the IRs at the same exact time, and so it being fully charged is the best time to do that because it's fully charged. The thing just beeped, right? So yeah, if anybody has the ability to look at IRs on TinyWhoop batteries, can you check me? Because maybe it's just my charger. It's a nice ISDT charger. It's like a $250 ISDT charger I got on crazy special. But yeah, from what I can tell, the internal resistances are just almost worthless. It's almost a worthless measure. Maybe that's just a TinyWhoop battery thing, because I don't think I've seen it be so wildly all over the place on bigger batteries and on multi-cell batteries. Maybe it's just something about these tiny little cells. I don't know. 0802, 25,000 kV rig first, and then 30,000. And all we're really looking at is the max RPM. I'm just going to hammer this thing across the room, and then I'm going to pull this battery and put it in the other rig. And we're going to see what we can see in terms of the highest RPM recorded, which should be in the post-flight stats on both of these things. I hope. You want to know how bad it is when you do FPV full-time? This is like my favorite lanyard strap ever. It's got that like old school solo cup design on it, but it's white. And these head straps get really dirty because you put them on your dirty hair, you touch them with your dirty hands. And so I'm trying not to ruin this. I had a dream. I had a dream last night, night before, I don't know, one of these nights this week, that this got really dirty. But then I cleaned it with a toothbrush and Dawn, which I've done before with these head straps. And then in the dream, I was super excited because it was white again, and it was no longer dirty. I could be doing anything in my dreams, but I'm cleaning battery head straps. This is my life now. I remember in the dream being like very disappointed that it got dirty. And then it was like such a triumph that I was able to clean it, and it got white again. It wasn't like sweaty yellow, you know? Oh boy. So I got that going for me. Unplugging the HD60S Plus. All right, yo, let's get some max RPM readings. These are both on the same motors. Oh, God! Oh, it feels weird to fly, man. I'll do it upstairs. It feels weird to fly. I feel like I'm flying drunk. So that should have been a big enough blast, but let's try one more. All right, that almost certainly was a big enough blast. Bring back down before I discharge the battery too much. All right, 42,850. Somebody type that in the chat, please. That is the 25,000 kV 0802. All right. And now we're going to put this same battery into the 30,000 kV rig. And so I'm handicapping the 30,000 kV rig a little bit because it's got the higher kV motors. To give the higher kV motors the slightly fresher battery would like guarantee that it pulled the higher RPM, you know what I mean? So I'm doing a little handicapping here. This is the rig that went swimming. Is it really on a different module? Boy, is that annoying. Okay, let's see. Come on, give me the beep. There's the beep. All right, let's get it right upstairs. And I'm going to do that same full throttle blast from over here. This is the longest distance that I... Oh, God, no. This is the longest distance that I can create here. Oh, God, it felt faster. Jesus, hell. Oh, that prop wash. Holy shit. Now, let's see. That's almost certainly going to be higher. Wow, it's barely higher. 43,000. 42,850. I'll be goddamned. Hold on. I mean, that is on a slightly more discharged... yeah. Try that one more time. Man, it is hard, like... It's hard to do it and not smash into things. Let's see if that's any higher. It's actually lower. Yeah, the battery is sagging and that number is coming down. Wow, okay. I had previously thought that that I couldn't tell the difference between 27 and 30,000. Uh-oh, the battery fell out, didn't it? Yeah, see it wobbling a little bit? The battery is hanging out the bottom. Yep. We got a dingleberry. Oh, yes we do! Dingleberry life! Alright, that's what I wanted to check. I mean, on a slightly fresher battery, sure. The higher kV motors would have given me a little bit more, but I like that test a lot because what that test means is that the iGal 802 27,000s are what you need. Just run those, and you're good to go. Cool. Or if you have if you can't get them and you have a set of 0802 25,000s floating around, just run those because they're completely fine as well. I'll fly the rest of the battery on this 25,000 kV rig. Yeah. Huh. I was not expecting that. Ooh, let's do this. Let me do another full throttle blast on this rig, and we'll see what... so we're back to the 25,000 kV rig. Let's take a look. Now the battery is, like, thoroughly discharged, so this should be, like, 27,000 would be my guess. But if this manages to pull 28 again, then yeah, we've learned a bunch. Yeah, let's see. Whew! Jesus. All right, let's just test that one. 42.3. 42,300. Look at that. And that's on an even more discharged battery. So it really is starting to look like a like 25 to 27,000 is all the kV that you need for 1.6 inch biblades until you increase the stator size. If we ran like a 902 or an 803 or something like that. Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Oh no. I think I hear someone coming to help me. Yay! Thank you! There he is. There's the bad boy. Get it, buddy. It's a bigger one. It's just... Oh, that's the best one yet! That's the best Teddy chase yet! Yeah! Oh, where'd he go? No. Where did he go? He go back in here? He did. Come on, buddy. You know you want to. Let's hide it behind the corner. We'll see if he's like a cat. Oh, God, the battery's... Oh, no! No, I'm so sorry, battery. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Okay. Is it close enough that I can just roll over to it? Yeah, it is. All right. Oh, boy. All right, we were a little mean to that battery, which sucks because it's a brand new battery. But I don't think I was so mean to it that it'll be muffed up. I'm going to put it directly on the charger, though. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. 3.6. No, it's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. 3.6 is okay. So, yeah, there you go. That's, I did not expect that. But I'm actually, that actually really makes me happy. That makes me happy that we don't have to go bananas with KV on these 1.6 inch props. If it's not going to turn, I mean... I guess maybe I could take it out in the front yard and just sit it full throttle for even longer. But the thing is, the longer you sit it full throttle, the more these batteries are going to sag. So it, like, yeah, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe flying it outside and leaving it full throttle for twice as long as I just did, maybe it wouldn't get up to a higher RPM. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have more incoming air, sure, because it's going to go faster and faster and faster, but... as it's going faster and faster, the battery's going to sag down. So, yeah. That is... that's pretty cool stuff right there. Same battery. Previously, when I'd done that test, I did it with different batteries because the thought process was make sure it's a fully charged battery. But... I've recently learned that my batteries have wildly different internal resistances. And so I think the test that we just did is actually more accurate. You do A, B, A. And on that third test, when the battery is at its weakest, it's still pulling almost the exact same RPM, right? So I will redo that test for sure in the front yard where I can just leave it full throttle for like a full second, just all the way across the front yard. But, yeah, it's a pretty good one. Tommy Noonan's headphones just died. Sorry, brother. Sander, thanks for the subscription, my friend. Welcome to the madness. Denzel the Terrible says, happy Friday night. You're forgiven for being late. Jason Black says, is it possible to get better filtering? Maybe. What's that mean? I feel like I'm missing some context to that. That sounds like we were having a conversation and then that question was related to the conversation, but I don't remember the conversation that we were having. Yeah. Tell me more. Ask me that question again, though. I won't remember it because I'm about to read a dozen more comments. Focus for Life says, "Oh no, we talked about that." Christopher Conray says, "When that happens to me, it's the quad thinks the board is not aligned right." What? When what happens to you, Chris? Chromaticus said, and ask the question again. Chromaticus says, "Is 98 kilohertz bad?" Nope. I recently saw a bunch of people shitting on it after Rosser posted his video, but I'm not sure why. Nope. Nothing bad about it. It's just different. You get more efficiency and more power, but you sacrifice motor braking. So nothing bad about it. Pluses and minuses to everything. Notice says, Rosser also, I noticed this too. Rosser also lowered the power protection in Bluejay. I don't understand why or what it accomplishes. Me either. So yeah, I'm just leaving it alone. I think he did mention it's desync related. I'm not getting desyncs though, so I don't care. Cole Power says, bidirectional DSHOT enabled on all motors? Yes. Yeah, I have bidirectional DSHOT on absolutely everything. Other than the BetaFPV stuff. For some reason, the BetaFPV stuff, the bidirectional DSHOT doesn't work on right. Tommy Noonan says, "What's up?" What's up, homie? He also said, oh no, headphones blew up. Walter says, "You will fly juicy with all the OPE." What's OPE? What's the OPE? Sergio Neves says, "Have you ever done the ELRS resistor thing on any of your quads?" I'm doing it as we speak on a Tron 80. I don't know what that is. ELRS resistor thing? What's that? I've not heard of that. Bora Bora says, "What do you think of lava batteries?" I'm thinking of getting the 260 ones, or should I stick to the 300s? But I want to try the smaller ones. Worth it. The lava batteries are great. I've been playing around with the 260s lately. First and foremost, these folded cell BT 2.0 batteries don't perform any different than any of the other folded cell BT 2.0 batteries. So yeah, don't think that the lavas, because they're newer, are going to be any better than the TinyWhoops or the Weebleeds or the Tattoos or any of them. They're all either made in the same place, or if they're not made in the same place, they're incredibly similar. So if you're doing an order on a website and they have folded cell BT 2.0 batteries and you need some, just get them. Doesn't matter whose they are. Doesn't matter what the sticker says on them. That being said, I had tested, so TinyWhoop had folded cell BT 2.0 260s forever ago. And I tested them on the high KV rigs that way back when I was flying a lot, 32,000, 36,000. And they sagged hard. Now we've got these ultra lightweight rigs, right? 16 point something grams, 17 point something grams, that fly really well on the lower KV motors, 29,000, 28,000, 27,000. These are great for those. The ultralight rigs with the lower KV motors, these 260s are good for. If your rig is over 18 grams or your motors are over 30,000, 32,000 KV, I would not recommend these. But yeah, if you're going for a super, super, super lightweight setup, I really do like these 260s. I'm really impressed by them. So yeah, there you go. All right, so we are going to test Senor Rosser's settings. And to do that, I'm going to use freestyle rigs. So let's do 2 different sets of testing. We'll do low KV and high KV. I should have enough batteries charged to... oh, yeah, I have enough. So the low KV setup we're going to do is the Ultimate Mobula 6 2024. ORT Micro V antenna, old school Mobula 6 canopy with Runcam Nano 3, Happy Model 0802 28,000 kV motors, GemFan 1219S tri-blades. The motors are direct soldered because this is a version 1 Mobula 6 2024, and Newbie Drone, brand new Newbie Drone Light AF frame. This is now the relatively clear version of this frame, which should be the strongest. And tell me that doesn't look hot as shit right there. All white and clear with a little touch of red. I almost did the milky white props, but these Happy Model motors have a little bit of red on them, so yeah, went with the red Weebleed 1219 propellers. Because I can! And because if you're not going to fly good, damn well better look good, my friends. Words to live by! Okay, so these guys are on like the regular Betaflight settings that I've always, ESC settings that I've always run, which is the default timing and 48K PWM. Hold on, let me just think about this for a second, because I want to test both. I want to test the timing and I want to test the PWM, and I'm thinking whether or not I should test them at the same time or separately. I'm going to test them separately. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to test them separately. So the timing, we're going to fly the 36,000 kV rig first. No. Let's test PWM frequency first. No. We're going to test this one that I just gave you the breakdown on. We're going to change both things at once. I'm going to change the timing and the PWM frequency. Because on the lower KV motors, I think it's going to be harder to tell the difference. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to fly this as is right now. 21 point something timing and 48K PWM. And then I'll change them both. And then we'll retest it. So it's the other module, of course. Come on. Come on. There it is. All right. 48K PWM with what the hell? Oh, right. Transmitter's not on. Okay. And it was the right module. Damn it! There it goes. Or not. What the hell's going on, little fella? Connect, you bastard! Connect! What the hell? How many times are I... Come on. Hello, Rockcrawler's wife. How are you? Hey, there we go. All right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. PID loop's a little overactive. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, nope. All right, let's just back this up. Wow, it's... Why so angry? Why so angry, little friend? shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. I feel very uncomfortable flying because of the pain drugs. I legitimately feel like drunk. Like my reaction times are not there. It almost makes me feel nauseous. I almost feel a little bit nauseous. Oh god. Alright, and I just noticed that I don't have RPM turned on in the post-flight stats, and I kind of need to have that turned on. So hold up. Hold up. Oh man. That's weird, man. That is weird flying something so quick. Sounds good, Bora Bora. Enjoy them. You'll dig them. Oh, okay. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. What's going on, Betaflight? You gonna connect or you gonna be a jerk? Gonna be a jerk. Okay. Gonna be a jerk. I see. I see how it is. I'll show you. Here we go. Okay. OSD. Post-flight statistics. ESC RPM maximum. There we go. Oh man, these are defaulted out. Hold on. Let's fix speed maximum. Nope. RSSI minimum. That's kind of nice. Battery draw current maximum. That's cool. MAH used. That's cool. Current battery voltage. That's nice to have. Battery voltage minimum. That's nice to have. Black box number. Don't need that. Black box usage. Don't need that. ESC temperature maximum. That's kind of cool. And that's it. That's what I want. All right. Good, good, good. I always hit it twice. I never trust it. Only once. Check something. PT1. Yeah, there it is. Let me see what gyro this has. BMI 270. Okay, so that's why it's being so grumpy. It doesn't have quite enough filtering. Let me back this gyro slider off. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna pull up Brandon's Baked Beans' messages. He had a super secret gyro low pass setting for BMI gyros. I'm not doing the full bing bong, but oh, I also can take out these 2 extra harmonics, so let's save that. All right, turn that one off. Gyro low pass 2, we're gonna put it at 135 with a PT2. This will be interesting. I'll be super interested to see if this is better or worse. All right, so there's that. And then let me just check something in here. It is in here. All right, so we can do this other super secret thing. Paste it in here. This is going to change how the BMI gyro's internal hardware filter acts. Okay. Let's see if that's better or worse. Because, man, I do not have the PIDs pushed very far, and it was freaking out on a fully charged battery. So there's something going on there. Let's see if this is not a fully charged battery, but we're still going to learn something here because I'm going to push the PIDs up. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give it more PID gains. It was barely able to handle where it was at. Nope. That's it oscillating. Look at the throttle. Zero throttle. Zero throttle. Oh boy. So I made it worse. I would need to put this thing onto 3.5, I think, in order for it to work with Brandon's setup. Let's do it. We'll do it real quick. We'll put it up onto 3.5, and then we'll do Brandon's filtering setup, and we'll see what happens here. So, plugging in. Here's how you update your shit. Don't update your shit unless you have a reason to. But, yeah. Auto detect, crazy B, 4.5.1, load firmware online. Flash firmware, it gives the warning. Do you want to create a backup? I do indeed. Hit yes. Save it to the hard drive, save it to the desktop rather. There it is. And now it's going to update. This will be really cool. I didn't do Brandon's full setup, but I did some of it. And this will be kind of neat to see if this changes things. Although it looks like it hung. Let me turn off the transmitter. Maybe that's causing problems. Oh boy. Nope. Oh, balls. Alright, well. Hopefully nothing bad just happened. Walter says, why are you not used to something? Hold on, let's check this backup file. This saves in a very strange way. It like doubled everything up. That's weird. Oh God, what's happening here? Is it too hot? What's going on, Mobula 6 2024? What's your deal? Alright, auto detect is now working. Great. Load firmware online. Great. Flash firmware. Ignore the risk. Racing. Come on, little friend! Yay! There it is. Come on, man! I shouldn't have done this. This is stupid. I should have just left it the hell alone. But I didn't. And we're in it now. There we go. Alright, programming successful. We've got that backup file, so what we can do is connect. Fine. Presets. Load backup. Point it at the file. Open. Away it goes. All that file is a big old CLI diff. And then all this is doing is dumping that into the CLI and hitting save. Hey, so here are some of the errors. So you're looking for red text. Oh, shit. It's got resource errors. Oh, God. I'm going to just brick this damn thing. Oh, no. Look at all this shit. Well, this will be interesting. Mag hardware, that's fine. Barometer hardware, that's fine. Alright, well, let's see. I mean, I might need to get a diff file from Happy Model for this, but let's just take a look. Let's make sure that the accelerometer is calibrated pretty decently. Yep, that's good. That is probably not supposed to be checked. but I am just going to leave it. All right, so for presets, we're going to do clean. Clean with RPM filtering. Click this, pick it, save and reboot. This is like the generic filter setup that Brandon does for BMI 270 rigs, of which this is one. PID tuning is, it's cranked again, which is fine. All right, so we're going to turn this off. Gyro low pass 2 at 135. We want it to be a PT2 filter. Let's save that. And take this down to 1 harmonic for the RPM filtering. And then I need to do the set gyro hardware low pass filter. All right, this will be super interesting. A, if it flies. B, if it doesn't fly away. I did bump the PIDs up, so if it flies away, then this filtering setup is not as good as our previous. And it did remember those OSD settings. Okay, cool. All right, let's. Here goes nothing. So either way, there's some cool things that we can learn here. First and foremost is Betaflight 0.5 that much different than 0.3. 0.4 rather. I'm not totally convinced that this thing's gonna fly though. I have a feeling there might be some resource problems. Yeah, see it one arm. Fuck. Oh, hell. Alright, well. I have that backup. I can just dump that backup in. I can backdate the version and dump that backup in. But let's do this instead. Let's take a look at what the arming disable flags are. Put a battery in. Okay, DSHOT. Nope, that one's now gone. Receiver failsafe. Oh, I might need to bind it again. Do I need to? I think I just need to bind it again. Okay. Bind receiver. And bind mode, press to send binding request. Okay. Do it again. Hey! Well, wait. It's not. Alright, so the next problem I think is in ports. Save this. Ports, I believe that should be turned off. Let's see. Nope. Let's just try the different UARTs for it. I don't know what the Mobula 6 2024. I don't know if the ELRS is serial or not. Why is this display port? What the hell? This shouldn't be on either, should it? That shouldn't be on. Let's try that. This is why you don't update. Hey, that was it. Next question is, are the all right, we're good. I can't think of what it's called. VTX telemetry, whatever the hell it's called. I think it's good now though. Thank you, Justin Bates. It's serial, not SPI. We got there. We got there. Thank you, Zoe, as well. Okay. All right. So, let's see if the tune is happier or sad. It arms. Oh. What? Why? Why? But why? It must have forgotten the motor spins in right direction settings. Also, I do not have OSD. Don't update your shit, friends. If it flies okay, don't update it. Just fly it. Just fly it. Anything with Betaflight 4.2 and later, it probably flies totally fine. Flies floatily fine. Don't update it. OSD is turned on. Oh, I know what the problem's going to be. It's going to be on HD, isn't it? Why does it... Nope. It's on NTSC. Oh, no, that's weird. Where the hell is the OSD? What the hell? Where are all my modes? This is all jacked up, yo. Horizon mode is all the way up. Wow, this is weird, man. It didn't back up. Wow, there's lots of stuff that it didn't back up. That's super strange. Crash. Beeper mute. It didn't back this up. Weird. Weird. Camera control, black box array, telemetry, OSD disable. Alright, save that. Oh, this is still here. Why the hell? Why the hell did I not have OSD? Does it have OSD now? No, it still doesn't have it. What the hell's going on? Okay. This makes no sense. All right, well. Hang on. OSD is on. OSD profile 2. Yeah, what the hell? It's not a PAL camera. I know that for a fact. And now this config MSP has turned itself back on. I didn't think that was supposed to be on, but I mean, this has nothing to do with the OSD. And it does arm, so I mean, like, this is fine. I don't think this should be here. Oh, this is why. MSP plus DisplayPort. Why would it do that? It needs to be on smart audio, but I still think it's on the wrong. Still think it's on the wrong one. Turn it off and on again. Come on, man. Why is it? There it goes. Okay. Let's put a battery in it and see what happens. Hold on. I believe that fixed it. Oh, then now it won't arm again. What the fuck is happening? Bueller? Tried to tell you guys. Updating breaks your shit. Nobody listens. What the fuck? Why? Why is it doing this? It's just randomly turning shit off and on. Okay. Man, this is infuriating. Here we are again. Yet again, we don't have OSD. Power it down, power it back up. Reconnect. So help me God if the ports are all screwed up again. No, okay, now we're good. Alright, so that's fine. Let's go into device ready. No. Okay, so, well, hold on. Let me feed it actual voltage just to be sure. Alright, so the device ready saying false means that smart audio is not working. So it's either on the wrong UART or I don't want TBS smart audio, I want Tramp smart audio. So let's reboot it with Tramp smart audio. Pull power. Reconnect. Okay. Connect to Betaflight. Check here. No OSD. Not great. Check the ports tab again because it likes to just change itself for no reason. That's fine. Video transmitter. Device ready. False. Put power to it just in case. No. Is it? It's using the same UART for smart audio and ELRS. I didn't think it could do that. Oh yeah, but now it wipes everything out again. What the fuck? Oh, it is MSP, so he says. Yeah, who's got a... Oh, look at that. Dead Stiff says, Bobby 6 2024 has video and receiver on the same UART. Boy, is that weird. But then why... It keeps fucking deleting it. Stop deleting it, you jackass. Hey, somebody that has one of these... can you check what these settings are? I need to know... what this is. Now it can't even find the... Come on, man. Why does it keep turning this off? What the... What the hell? General and Discord. Thank you. General. All right, let's see. MSP. Serial RX. Plus DisplayPort. Yeah, this is what it was set up with originally. And it didn't work. Right? Like, that's the way it was set. And nothing was working. It wouldn't arm. It wouldn't do anything. Let me come in here. See, now it's false. Oh my god. Oh my god, why? And then let's check receiver. Alright. So we're good to go on the receiver, but the video transfer is not up. Let's put power to it and just see if that changes anything. No. No OSD. VTX telemetry not working. Pull power and restart it all the way. Somebody messaged me and said that there are 2G4 boards in stock. You guys have probably already talked about it in chat. I don't remember what website. I'm all drugged up. Okay, that's good. Maybe we have OSD. Hey! We've got that. I feel like we still don't have an OSD, though. Nope, still don't have OSD. Why do we still not have OSD? aux 2, full range, OSD profile selection, aux 2. Correct. Dave S says, need to type command for OSD and CLI. What does that mean? Let's just put power to it. Nah, no OSD. What the hell? Okay. I didn't think this was going to become a troubleshooting stream, but here we are. OSD is on. I guess let me try PAL. But I know for a fact that these RunCam Nano 3s are not PAL. But we'll try it anyway. Because I'm all out of ideas. Dude, what the fuck? No, that can't be it, Bergeron. This is the same OSD profile I've been using for... Yeah, no, that's not it. This is the same OSD I've always used. It's not just gonna, like... magically change, unfortunately. What the shit? Okay. Is this somehow like accidentally turned on or something? What the fuck? Yeah, I just checked I've checked the adjustments tab a couple of times. What? I'm out of ideas. I guess maybe let me try turning this off. Maybe this is broken. Maybe the adjustments thing is broken. I guess that doesn't make any sense, but OSD profile 1. Put it back to NTSC. Okay, try that, I guess. What the fuck, dude? What the hell? So apparently in 0.5 OSD is broken? What that is, but what? Looks like there's a bunch of people that are dealing with the same issue. That's great. Okay. I don't understand. Oh man, this is the last thing I want to be dealing with when I'm all whacked out on pain meds. Because the problem could be like right in front of me, but I'm just not thinking of it. Let me do this. Put something dead center. Save that. Disconnect. Alright, so there's now an OSD element, absolutely dead center. Come on, man, what the hell? So that's not it. Wow. I guess I'm going to have to go back to 4.4. I need the OSD. I mean, specifically for this testing that we're trying to do. Oh my god, this is brutal. And like, I have shit in all four corners. So like, if it was just shifted off to the side, it would tell me. Let me try this, just as a weird hunch. What if for some weird reason it wants the HD OSD now? I'm pretty sure that's not it, but it's worth a try. Oh my god, it's 9 o'clock already. Go get some block grinder, friends. This is, I'm gonna keep going because we still haven't done anything that I said we were gonna do, but... What the fuck, man? Oh my god, and the motors are all wrong, too. Oh. This is those resource problems. This is because of those weird resource problems. Yeah, that has to be it. That red text that we saw, those problems with the resources, that's what's causing this. That's what's causing this. I don't know a fix for that. I'm guessing the fix would be to not use a diff and to set this up from scratch. Wow. What was it on? It was on 4.4.0. Yeah, and here's all these resources. I'm just going to go back to 4.4.0. Fuck it. I could probably at least go to... No, I'll go back to 4.4.0. It's fine. All right. Ignore the risk for sure. I don't want to overwrite a perfectly good backup. Wow, man, that's ridiculous. And that might not even fix the problem, to be honest with you. Doing it like that might not fix the problem. And now it's acting up again. Okay. Man, we put up with some bullshit to be able to fly these things. Good God. Now it won't find the fucking AIO. Ooh, boy. This is something else. Auto detect. 4.4.0. Load firmware. Flash firmware. Ignore. Uh-oh. It won't go into DFU mode now. Uh-oh. So I now need to find a button on this that puts it into DFU mode. And if it doesn't have one, I don't know what I'm going to do. Doesn't look like there's any button on top. It doesn't look like there's one on the bottom either. Great. So I guess I'll change the title of the stream to How to Brick a Mobula 6 2024. Because without a button, there's nothing I can do. So Betaflight 0.5 apparently bricks these things, unless you're okay with not having OSD, which I'm not. Let's try one more time. Alright, quad's coming up. Auto detect. Good, that's the right one. 4.4.0. Load firmware online. Flash firmware. Ignore the risk. There it goes. Whew, that was scary. Jesus. That's interesting. Deadstiff says, Happy Model did some weird stuff with video on the 2024. It's probably why the reason they released it on old firmware. Interesting. Oh, that's fine. It'll fly fine. I'll just have to go back. I'll try Brandon's filtering profile one more time. All right, there we go. Back in business. Sure, apply all the custom defaults you want. I'm just going to overwrite them all. Connect. Close. Jesus, man, come on. All right. Oh boy. Just hyperventilated a little bit. Now I feel full-blown drunk. Okay. Presets. Load back up. Here it is. Open it. Okay. See, this is... Why is it still coming up with errors? Oh, dude, what? Come on. Oh, bro. Bro! Why does it have errors? I'm flashing it onto the same version. Oh man. Okay. I guess I'm gonna need to get a diff from Happy Model for it. Oh my god. What a pain in the ass. Oh man, this sucks. This is bad, dude. Fuck. Let's see. Tell me. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here. Factory firmware 442. Dump file. No, we're just gonna do this because this is a hex. Yeah, one's BMI 270, one is by CM. This sucks because I'm gonna lose. No, I guess not necessarily. I won't necessarily lose stuff, but I'm gonna have to go through it line by line. Wait, no, I want to go in here. Load firmware local. Downloads. Oh, it's a zip file. I need to do that. Okay, Betaflight hex. Whatever. There it is. Okay. So we'll go up to 4.4.2. Flash! Ignore the risk because it's broken anyway. Now, I did save a backup, Danzilla, but the backup isn't working. The backup is screwing up the resources. Gyro tuned to the screwdriver, Cold Power says. All right, come on, Betaflight. You it's really that much? Oh my god, I feel horrible. Wow, I can't believe this. What this just turned into. Okay, motherfucker. So now it is completely wiped out. Like as it comes out of the box. And so now what I can do is go into this backup file, leave all this resource shit alone. Don't touch any of this. Scroll down to the stuff with set in front of it. See, none of this stuff says set here, but there's a bunch of stuff down here that says that's got set in front of it. So I can copy all that. I didn't realize that the backup file does that. That's pretty cool. Copy all that. Oh my god, really? You're going to scroll this slow? I'm going to light you on fire. Your time has come. Please! Alright, there we go. So, grab all that shit. Copy it into the clipboard. I've actually never done this. Hopefully this works. Paste it all into the... Yeah, there we go. Good. No red text, no red text, no red text, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Hey! Save it! And now we should be completely back to where we started. Unplug it and replug it. What the hell? There it is. Wow, that took forever. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, here's what I should have done in the first place. Clean. Clean build with RPM filtering. Pick. Save and reboot. All right. The gangly fan is like right there, but I'm trying to not bend over, if at all possible. All right, so now it's got that clean filter shit on it. Let's turn this off. Low pass 2 at 135, like Brandon says. PT2. Okay. Harmonics done to 1. Dynamic notch filter is disabled. Why? Don't be disabled. 800. Okay. And we got this gyro hardware filter thing that we want to do in the CLI. All right. So this is Brandon's Betaflight 4.5 settings, but on 4.4. This might not work, but it's worth a shot. This is what I should have done in the first place. All right, so we're fine now. Let's put a battery on it and watch it fly away, and then I'll have to put it back the way that it was originally before we did any of this stuff. Holy shnikes. It's unbelievable how quick things can degenerate into madness. Come on now! What the hell? Why won't now it won't arm again? No! Come on. Why? Why are you doing me like this? Why are you being so mean? Mobula 6 2024. Why are you being so slow to go in there? Check the motors tab. Oh my god. Oh, this is bad, bro. This is all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. Look at it. It's all fucked up in the game here. This is all messed up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why? What is this about now? Oh man. It's all fucked up in the game. It is all fucked up in the game. Why is it? What? What is this? Gyro /1. No gyro. What the hell? Oh boy. Alright, there are 2 files. Let's try the other one. Let's try 440. Dump file. No, we want factory firmware. I bet you that's the problem. Oh my god. What an absolute nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. All right, well, Maybe maybe this 442 one is for the V2. This is the V1 that I've got here. All right, let's try it again. Come on, you bastard. I can't even get the USB plugged in. Man, I feel like shit. Ooh, I feel like crap. I am. That's cool. Why is it not going? Oh my god. Why you gotta do it? Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta be like this? Why? Let's quit out again. Oh! Oh, why? Load local. 4.4.0. Flash firmware. Ignore the risk. Go! Please go! Oh no. Why are you doing this? Don't do this unless you need to do this. Oh, please work. No. You shouldn't need to go online. It's a local file, you jerk. Update. Oh, wow. Now I can't even see the board to auto detect. Nope. Not working. Okay. This rig gets put aside. We're gonna fly the 36,000 kV rig and make the changes and see if anything happens. I am super sorry, my friends, but I am at the end of my patience. And so I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna change the settings. I'm gonna see if there's a noticeable difference. And then I'm gonna click the stop streaming button. And I'm gonna go and lay down because I feel horrible. Ready? Current settings are the slightly higher timing and 48K PWM. Oh boy, what a disaster. Why did the fan just stop running on the laptop that's asleep? Is it not? You know, I don't even care. Sit there and run your fan until you melt into the ground, laptop. Go right ahead. Wrong module, of course. As an extra little kick in the jimmies. Walter says, see a hairdresser. Screw you. I'll do what I want. Oh God, there's stops. Hey! Woo! No. Oh my God. Oh God! No! Oh, fart. You know, the problem with doing this right now... Oh, God. Problem with doing this right now is I am, like... I am as dull as a butter knife. So... Short of, like, doing runtime testing... Look, there's my pills. There's my pills. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the full throttle tests. That's what we're gonna do. We've got RPM in the post-flight stats. So I'm going to take this battery. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to blast it across the room. We're going to look at the RPM. All right. Somebody type this into chat. 54,816. I'm going to do it one more time. 54,816. Ready? Do it once more. Ooh, wow. Okay, that is absolutely... as much as I could possibly do it. 55,000. All right, so just type 55,000 into the chat. 55,000. I'm gonna have to do it again. Hey, I'm down here. It's fine. Thank you, though. Stop it, Teddy. Stop it. Stop it. Teddy, back off! Not in the mood for your shenanigans. I just hammered the battery so hard. Whatever. Okay. Now we're gonna make those changes. We'll see. Maybe it'll be okay. Okay, connect, read settings. Oh, transmitter's on. All right, timing down to 15. Let's write that. And then Bluejay 0.16. I'm looking for the 96K. This is OH5. OH5. And OH5 96. Okay. Come back in here. Flash all ESCs. Local firmware. Downloads. OH5 96. All right, normal. The battery that I just ran is right here. Right here. I'm gonna put this battery on the charger for a split second, just to give it a little bit more jam. Oh boy. Nice, cool. I know I missed chat count. God, I can't even fucking talk now. Holy shit. I know I missed chat comments. This is what it's like when I'm drunk, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I was drunk. I know I missed chat comments. Just ask me later. It's JSAS Squatty Flash Local rather than getting it through the tool, because in here they will not get the older Bluejay version 0.16 that I have the best luck with. The newer versions of Bluejay don't work as well as 0.16 for me. Bluejay 0.16 is the last version of Bluejay that the original designer did before he left. And on certain AIOs, the newer versions of Bluejay will actually desync all over the place. So I've moved everything to 0.16, which you can find at the link that I just went to, and it seemed, and yeah, it either makes no difference or it stops desyncing. So I just put everything on 0.16 at this point. All right, here we go. I didn't get hardly any power put back into it. You know what I'm trying to say. Maybe you don't. From the charger. Whatever. Here we go. That was kind of a weak one. Hold on. No, no, no! You... Did anybody happen to see the RPM the first time I disarmed it? I think it's up inside of a lamp. I might not even be able to get the fucking thing down. Oh, man. I think I'm going to have to get the ladder out. Hold on. Yeah, it was in the lamp. But there's a stool right there. I was just tall enough to get up into it. That one motor is having a hard time when I take off. It didn't do that before, I don't remember. All right, let's see what that did. 51. Man, I'm exhausted. 53. Earthwalker says 53. What was it before? I don't know. I don't know, man. Has anybody been following along in chat enough to know what we just did? I'm just... Oh, no. That's behind the TV. I'm done. I hope you learned something, because I didn't. I love you guys. We'll revisit this when I'm not high on drugs. I'm not high on prescription pain pills. I love you guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm so sorry. Wow, what a nightmare. What a fucking disaster. I'm so sorry. If this is your first time coming to these streams, I swear to God, it's not always this bad. Sometimes it is, but yeah, I love you guys. Bye. Holy Christ, I'm not ready. I don't know what to put on. Put this on. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I gotta get that quad from behind the TV. Here you go. This is me flying. Do, 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 do. Bye.